वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद श्री राधे।
जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद श्री राधे।
जय निताय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि। जय निताय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि।
जय निताय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि। जय निताय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि।
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा।
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा।
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल।
निताय गौर
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रजाकाचार्य श्रोत्र शतश्री श्रीमद कीर्तिवान श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। मथुरा धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyate Deshatarine. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Krishne Madhirastu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 11, which is the Vishwarup Darshan Yoga, the universal form, text 19 to 23. So, text 19. Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam.
Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam.
Ananta Bahum Shashi Surya Netram.
Ananta Bahum Shashi Surya Netram.
Pashyami Tvam Deepta Hutashavatram.
Pashyami Tvam Deepta Hutashavatram.
Swatejasa Vishwam Nidam Tapantam.
Swatejasa Vishwamidam Tapantam.
Word out Anadi.
Anadi.
Without beginning.
Without beginning.
Madhya.
Madhya.
Middle.
Middle.
Antam.
Antam.
Or end.
Or end.
Ananta.
Ananta.
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Viryam.
Viryam.
Glories.
Glories.
Ananta.
Ananta.
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Bahum.
Bahum.
Arms.
Arms.
Shashi.
Shashi.
The moon.
The moon.
Surya.
Surya.
And sun.
And sun.
Netram.
Netram.
Eyes.
Eyes.
Pashyami.
Pashyami.
I see.
I see.
Tvam.
Tvam.
You.
You.
Deepta.
Deepta.
Blazing.
Blazing.
Hutashavatram.
Utashavatram.
Fire coming out of your mouth.
Fire coming out of your mouth.
Swatejasa.
Swatejasa.
By your radiance.
By your radiance.
Vishwam.
Vishwam.
Universe.
Universe.
Idam.
Idam.
This.
This.
Tapantam.
Tapantam.
Heating.
Heating.
Translation. You are without origin.
You are without origin.
Middle or end.
Middle or end.
Your glory.
Your glory
is unlimited.
is unlimited.
You have
You have
numberless arms.
numberless arms.
And the sun
And the sun
and moon
and moon
are your eyes.
are your eyes.
I see you
I see you
with blazing fire
with blazing fire
coming forth
coming forth
from your mouth,
from your mouth,
burning this entire universe
burning this entire universe
by your own radiance.
by your own radiance.
So this is a continuation of the description that we have been hearing since last few sessions, where Arjuna is describing the universal form that he is seeing. And this is very visual. This chapter is very visual. All the descriptions in this chapter can, to a certain extent, be imagined, but not to the extent of actually what Arjuna is seeing. Because it's an interesting concept. We see in the current world, there is live transmission that happens on TV screens. So if you want to see anything, you can see live anywhere. On a screen you can see live. But when we see it live on the screen, and when we are actually personally present in the place where this is happening, it's totally two different experiences, right? It's not the experience of course, the live seeing on a screen has got a certain impact. We have a certain impact from that, but that impact cannot be compared to the impact where one is personally there and personally, physically experiencing that. So here, what is happening is Arjuna is seeing that. He's seeing that universal form of Krishna, and it is Divya Chakshusha. So one of the interesting thing to understand here is that one has to have the eye which is divine, the vision that is divine, to see even from the perspective of our current existence. If we do not have the divine vision, we will only see the bodies everywhere. We will not see the consciousness which is actually animating the body. So, see, and this is extremely important to understand. The concept of, as Krishna says, na jayate mriyate va kadachit, that there was never a time when we were born. So what does that mean? There was never a time when we were not born. That means that the birth is for the body. So because the birth is for the body, the death is also for the body. And Janma, Mrityu, Jara and Vyadhi. Jara is old age, Vyadhi is disease. So the old age is also for the body and disease is also for the body. And the biggest challenge that we have in this material existence is that Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So the moha, so basically this attachment is coming through the medium of the mind and the body. So you've got a sthula sharira. Sthula sharira is the gross body. Then you've got a sukshma sharira. Sukshma sharira is the subtle body. So we've got a gross body which is made up of earth, water, fire, air and space. And then you've got a subtle body which is made up of mind, intelligence and false ego. And then there is a karana sharira. There are three different types. So karana sharira is the cause of our sthula and sukshma sharira. So karana sharira is the reason why we have to continuously take birth after birth after birth after birth. That karana sharira is caused, there has no beginning. Anadi bahirmukha jeev. It is mentioned in scriptures that there is no beginning to this ignorance, right? And it is ajnana. It is because of ignorance that we think that this is the only reality. This reality in this body and mind is the only reality. It is due to ignorance, ajnana. When there is jnana chakshusha, when we have that eyes of divine knowledge, then we understand that that we were never born, and because we were never born, we will never die. That is our original nature. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. Krishna actually uses the word kadachit. Kadachit means at any point in time. So at no point we ever took birth, and because at no point we ever took birth, at no point we are going to die. So this is the real beginning of spiritual journey. If somehow or other we can get into that aspect of our understanding of our eternal nature as an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Mama eva amsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita that all the living entities are my eternal part and parcel. Sanatana, eternally. It's not that at this point in time I'll become part and parcel of Krishna and at the next moment I won't be part and parcel of Krishna. It's not like that, right? So eternally, since time immemorial, just like the ignorance did not have any beginning, our relationship with Krishna also did not have any beginning. But the interesting thing is, in this comparison, is it ends over there, beginningless. Ignorance will end. Ignorance will end when we become established in that situation of being an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. So how do we get established in that situation? Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Krishna says that someone who is engaged in unalloyed loving devotional service to me, avyabhichareni bhakti. So basically, what does unalloyed mean, right? Like if you look at the gold, right? If there is a 24 karat gold, that will always be in the liquid form. So for the gold to actually get used, you have to mix something and you have to make it a 22 karat gold. Then you can make it into ornaments and things like that. So unalloyed means that which is totally pure. So that total pure devotional service is what we are composed of. It is our nature. And Jivera Swarupaya Krishnera Nitya Das. So Swarup means our original form. So our original form is that we are always connected with Krishna, and no point in time we are not connected with Krishna. So then why is it that we are suffering? Manaha Shashtani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. Krishna says that the moment I identify myself with my mind and the five senses, and this is the unfortunate situation in this existence, that the moment I get this particular body, I think that this is the only existence. There is nothing else other than this. So if we have this costless mercy of the Lord through his statements in Bhagavad-Gita, we somehow get to that understanding that there is a dimension of our existence which is the reality, absolute reality. So there are two ways of looking at our existence. One is the relative reality. So the relative reality is the reality which we are always experiencing with our five senses and the mind. So relative means it is constantly changing. The reality that we experience in this material world, every moment it is changing. So this moment my mind might be nice and happy, but the next moment I never know when my mind will become depressed or whatever, unhappy. So every moment there is this fluctuation that is happening, and this is the nature of this material existence. So that's why Krishna says na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sata. Krishna says that na asato vidyate bhavo. So whatever is asat, asat means that which is not constant, that is always changing. Because it is always changing, we consider the problem is we become so much absorbed in this material world that all these things are considered to be normal. So someone has got diseases are coming. So we consider that's part of this living in this material world. What's the problem? Diseases come. We will do some cure. Medicine will create some cure for it, and then we'll be all right. Or there are many people who are trying to find treatment for not getting old. Yes. So there is a millionaire person whose only purpose in his life is to stop the old age, and he's doing lots and lots of things to stop. He's doing research how to stop the old age. So there might be some people who are researching how can we stop the death. So we are trying to address these things through the medium of science and medicine and everything else. But say for example, science finds a solution for old age. Science finds the solution for death. But can science find the solution for mental unhappiness that one has? So suppose one is not growing old, one is not dying. But if one is in a mental state of unhappiness, what's the use of not dying? It's like so. This is the real solution is that if the mind is Savai Manha Krishna Padaravindayo. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam about Kulashekara Maharaj. He was the emperor of the whole world, but his mind was always fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. So when the mind gets fixed, then it does not matter. All the external things will not matter then. Anything can happen externally. It is not. Padam yad vipadam na tesha. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Samashritaya padapallava plavam mahat padam punya yesha murare bhavam buddhi vatsa padam param padam yad vipadam na tesha. Very beautiful verse. What it says is, if someone has taken total shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, samyak rupena ashrita. Ashrita is shelter, samyak rupena is totally, 100%. Samashritayena pada pallava plavam. So, pada pallava, the lotus feet is like the ocean, is like the ship. It's like a boat. So, someone has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, which is like a ship. Pada pallava plavam. Mahat padam punya yasho murare. So it is called the Mahat pada. It is the greatest shelter that one can get. And whose shelter is this? Punya Yashaha Murare. So Mura is the demon and Are means one who is the enemy. So Krishna's another name is Murare, who is the enemy of the demon Mura. So Punya Yasha. So his glorification is very pious. So if someone has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, which is like a ship, and he is Murare, his glorification is pious in itself. Punya Yasha Murare. Bhavam Buddhi Vatsapada. Beautiful comparison. What it says is, this material existence is called Bhava. Bhava means we are taking birth and we are dying constantly. So it's like an ocean of birth and death. So when we are in the shore of an ocean, we don't know, it feels so vast, we don't see its end. So this material existence is compared like that ocean, where we don't know when this cycle of constant birth and death is going to end. So what that verse is saying is that ocean of birth and death becomes like a water in the hoof print of a calf. Bhavam Buddhi Vatsa Padam. Vatsa is like a calf. So that whole water becomes like a water in the hoof print of a calf. So what does it mean? One can easily cross over it. Bhavam Buddhi Vatsa Padam Param Padam. So when we reach the Param Padam, the lotus feet of the Lord, Padam Padam Yat Vipadam Na Tesham. Very beautiful. So in the material world, there is Vipada. There is some danger or another is existing in this material world. Padam Padam Yat Vipadam. So every step, unfortunately, there is some danger. Why there is some danger? Because I think that this is the only existence. So if I think that my body is the only existence, then I'm afraid of everything that is happening to my body. Because disease will come to my body, old age will come to my body, death will come to my body. So I am constantly in a state of fear, vipada. There is constantly some problem or another problem. But if someone has taken total shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, then padam padam yad vipadam na tesham. For that person, there is no vipada. There is no problem. Why there is no problem? Because one knows that the real existence is in relationship with Krishna. So that is what when we look at this verse, Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Virya. So without any beginning, middle and end, and he is Ananta. He has unlimited. Viryam is his glories. So this is what Arjuna is saying. Ananta Bahum Shashi Surya Netram. So he has got unlimited arms, and his eyes are, the sun and the moon are his eyes. So this is basically, if we look universal form can be looked from two perspectives. One perspective is this direct, what Arjuna is describing here, without any beginning and end, unlimited arms. Another way of looking at the universal form is that every person is a part and parcel of Krishna. So in that way, there is unlimited arms, unlimited eyes, or you can actually count. Say, for example, 8 billion human species are there, for example, on planet Earth. So if we are saying that everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna, in that way, they are part and parcel as the universal form of Krishna. So that is another perspective of looking at it. This is called, there is Vishishta Advaita. There are different ways of understanding Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there is Vadanti Tat Tattvavidas Tattvam Yadyanam Advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagwaniti Shabdyate. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam that this Tattva, this Supreme Absolute Truth can be understood in 3 phases. One is Brahman. The Brahman is the impersonal Brahman, where Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. That means what we are talking about, the absolute reality and the relative reality. So the relative reality is this constant change. And the constant change is based on absolute reality, which never changes. So the absolute reality which never changes is Brahman. And the constant change that happens in the relative reality is Jagat. Jagat means it's constantly coming and going. So Janma and Gatva. So for example, this body has got a beginning and end. Similarly, this whole creation from A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita that from the Brahmaloka onwards, there is constant creation and destruction, constant cycle. Paras tasmatu bhavanyo vyakta vyaktat sanatana yasa sarveshu bhuteshu vinashatsu na vinashyati. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita that there is one realm which is paraha, which is transcendental. Vyakta avyaktat sanatana. So from the Brahmaloka onwards, there is constant cycle of creation and destruction, but there is a supreme realm which is eternally existing. This is what is called Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshalvateshu. Devi Goloka Namni Nijadamni Talecha Tasya Devi Mahesha Haridamasu Teshu Teshu Tete Prabhava Nichaya Vitascha Yena Govinda Madipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. It is mentioned in Brahma Samhita that the Goloka Vrindavan Dham is the place where there is no creation and no destruction. It is an eternal pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there is eternal pastime going on. That is called the Nitya Leela. So generally, when we talk about the saints who are really transcendental, we call them Nitya Leela Pravishta. That is how they are addressed. So what does that mean? That means they have entered into the eternal pastimes of the Lord. So even though physically and mentally one might think that they are on this material world, but because they are so much attached to Krishna, they actually are existing in the Goloka Vrindavan Dham. This is what is Iha Yasya Harer Dasya Karmana Manasa Gira Nikhilaswa Payavasthasu Jivan Mukta Sauchyate. It is mentioned in the scriptures that if someone Iha Yasya, even while remaining in this material world, Harer Dasya, involved in as a servant of Krishna, Karmana, Manasa and Gira. Karmana is through the activities, Manasa is through the mind, Gira is through the speech. So through the body, mind and speech, if someone is constantly in service of the Lord, then that person, even though situated in the material world, is Jivan Mukta, is actually liberated even though within the material world. So when we are discussing, for example, Pashyami Tvam Deepta Hutasha Vatram, right? So here Arjuna is saying that, oh Lord, I am seeing you blazing fire coming out of your mouth. So it is so frightening. And he's saying that Swatejasa Vishwam Idam Tapantam. So the fiery nature of the fire coming from your mouth is such that the whole existence is getting heated by that fire. So it's like this is Arjuna continues to explain the different details, right? So now we go to the next verse. Dhyava prithyor idamantaram hi
Dhyava prithyor idamantaram hi
Vyaptam tvayekena dishascha sarvam
Vyaptam tvayekena dishascha sarvam
Drishva bhutam rupam ugram tavedam
Drishva bhutam rupam ugram tavedam
Lokatrayam Pravyathitam Mahatman.
Lokatrayam Pravyathitam Mahatman.
So the word Dhyav, from outer space.
From outer space.
Aprithyo, to the earth. Idam, this. Antaram, between. He, certainly. Vyaptam, pervaded. Tvaya, by you. Ekena, alone. Disha, directions. Cha, and Sarvaha, all. Drishtva, by seeing. Adbhutam, wonderful. Rupam, form. Ugram, terrible. Tava, your. Idam, this. Loka, the planetary systems. Trayam, three. Pravyathitam, perturbed. Maha-Atman, O Great One. So translation: Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets
and all space between.
O Great One,
O Great One,
seeing this wondrous
seeing this wondrous
and terrible form,
and terrible form,
all the planetary systems
all the planetary systems
are perturbed.
are perturbed.
So this is again, so the previous verse, Arjuna was describing about the unlimited hands and the fire that is coming. Now Arjuna is saying that you have covered the whole space. So it's again, to a certain extent we can imagine this, but sometimes it's called avan manasa gochara. There is a word used in Sanskrit. It says that the actual understanding of Krishna consciousness, that it transcends the material mind, because the material mind has got limitation, because material mind is based on matter, and because it's based on matter, the limitation is that it is always thinking in terms of matter, but here the description is divine. So how do we understand the divinity while possessing a material mind? So this is an important question here, and the answer here is sevon mukhe jivhadau swayameva surati yada atah Shri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai. So it is said in the scriptures that anything related to Krishna cannot be understood by blunt material senses. So for example, I have my eyes and here is the Radha Krishna form. So this Radha Krishna form, someone can see it as a form which is material, but if someone has got a divine vision, they will actually see Sakshat Radha and Krishna, and they will just get absorbed in the pastimes of the Lord. So this is Seva Unmukhahi Jivhado. So when the mind is saturated with love for the Lord, Premanjana Churita, Bhakti Vilochanena. So that when that prema gets saturated, then the whole, it does not matter where one is. This is what is ahaituki apratihata. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam that the pure devotional service does not have any costs. It is costless. Like generally, devotional service is based on some normal devotional service. That's what we have discussed this before. 4 kinds of people come to me. Krishna says, one who is in distress, one who wants wealth, one who is inquisitive, and one who is in knowledge. And Krishna actually says in the next verse, Tesham Jnani Nityuktam Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. Among the 4 people, Krishna says, the Jnani is very dear to me. The person in knowledge is very dear to me. Why he is dear to me? Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. Because that person is one-pointedly engaged in loving devotional service to me. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyate. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, after many births, a person in knowledge surrenders onto me. So that is the conclusion of knowledge. Generally what happens is, if someone is in knowledge and if they have not understood that the goal of knowledge is to surrender onto the Lord, unfortunately it will become ye anya arvindaksha vimukta maninas tvai asta bhavad avishuddha buddhaya aruya krichena param padam tatha patanti yada anadrita yushmadangraya. There is a very beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. It says that someone ye anya arvindaksha vimukta maninas. So someone does not recognize the arvindaksha, the Lord with the lotus eyes. They are not recognizing him, but they are considering themselves to be liberated. Vimukta maninas. They are thinking that they are liberated. What Srimad Bhagavatam says is, Tvai asta bhavad avishuddha buddhaya. Unfortunately, their intelligence is not fully purified. Aruya krichena param padam tatha. It is mentioned in the scriptures that these kind of people, they might have done severe austerities and they might have reached the Brahma Bhuta stage. But patanti yada. Unfortunately, they fall down. Why do they fall down? Anadrita yushmad angraya. Angraya is the lotus feet of the Lord. Anadrita means not respected. So basically, so Jnana Marg, what happens is, in the Jnana Marg, so there is a Nirgun Brahman and Sagun Brahman, right? So Nirgun Brahman is that Brahman which is the basis of the whole existence. So it has no form. Formless Brahman. Nirgun Brahman is a formless Brahman, and Sagun Brahman is the Brahman with the form, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. Sometimes what happens is the people who are in the Jnana Marga, they are so much enamored by the Nirgun Brahman that they consider Sagun Brahman as subordinate, and they think that it's not necessary to know the Sagun Brahman, because Nirgun Brahman is the ultimate, because the impersonal is ultimate. So that verse in Srimad Bhagavatam is saying that they are performing severe austerities and they reach that state, but unfortunately patanti ada, fall down, because they did not recognize the lotus feet of the Lord. So these verses, when we are discussing these verses, it's very nicely, it is helping us to understand the form of the Lord, the universal form of the Lord. So what is this? So this is saying that the Lord is spread across. Dyav a prithyor idam antaram hi vyaptam tvayekena dishascha sarva. So the Lord is spread everywhere. So Arjuna is looking and he can't see anything other than the universal form. Everywhere. It is a universal form. Drishtva bhutam rupam ugram tavedam. So I am seeing your adbhuta rupa. Adbhuta is wonderful. Your wonderful form. And what is that? Ugram. So there is this, Ugram is fearful. So for example, when Narsimhadev came, there is a prayer, Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Narsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityor Mrityam Namamyaham. So very beautiful prayer. That is talking about, so Narsimhadev when he is coming, and he is so angry, because he is so angry at Hiranyakashipu that this person has troubled my pure devotee. And it is said, so what happens is, his anger doesn't get pacified. The Brahmaji comes, even Lakshmiji comes, and then finally Prahlad himself has to go and say that please calm down, Narsimhadev, and then he calms down. And then there is this his Ugra Roop is there, and then his Shanta Roop is also there. So the Shanta Roop happens because finally Prahlad Maharaj himself goes and says, please calm down. So this is the wonderful relationship between the devotee and the Lord. So basing on what the devotional attitude of the devotee is, the Lord takes his form. And this is what Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. As Krishna says, to protect my devotees and to annihilate the miscreants. And the third is to re-establish the religious principles. So the Lord personally incarnates. So that is, so this Ugram reminds us of that verse of Narsimhadev, Ugram Viram. So it's very beautiful. So now we go to the next verse 21. Hamihi tvam sura sangha vishanti.
Hamihi tvam sura sangha vishanti.
Kechit bhita pranjalayo grunanti.
Kechit bhita pranjalayo grunanti.
Swasti iti uktva maharshi siddha sangha.
Swasti iti uktva maharshi siddha sangha.
Stunvanti tvam stutibhi pushkalabhihi.
Stuvanti tvam stutibhi pushkalabhihi.
So what the word?
Ami,
all those,
he,
certainly,
tvam, you,
surasangha, groups of demigods, vishanti, are entering, kechit, some of them, bhitaha, out of fear, pranjalayaha, with folded hands, grunanti, are offering prayers, swasti, all peace, iti, thus, uktva, speaking, maharishi, great sages, siddha sangha, perfect beings, stuvanti, are singing hymns, tvam, onto you, stutibhihi, with prayers, pushkalabhihi,
Pushkalabhihi,
Vedic hymns. Translation: all the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them very much afraid are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings crying all peace are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. Right, so again this is it's Amihi Tvam Surasangha Vishanti. So Surasangha, groups of demigods are entering. Kechid Bhitaha Pranjaliyo Prananti. So these demigods are entering and then they are getting afraid of this universal form of the Lord, and they are folding their hands. Pranjalayo means folding the hands. Grunanti is offering prayers. Swastiti uktva maharshi siddha sangha. Swastiti means let there be peace. Let there be because this form is really very ferocious. It is really causing a lot of fear. So these Maharshi and Siddha Sangha, the great rishis and the liberated beings are saying, "Oh, let there be peace," because they are getting afraid of this, ferocious universal form of the Lord. And what are they doing? Stuvanti tam tvam stutidip pushkalabhi. So they are all saying prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His universal form, and they are seeing that. And this is what dhyana avastita tadgatena manasa pashyantiyam yogina yasyantam na vidu surasura gana devaya tasmai namah. So there is a particular verse in the scriptures where it is said that there is all these demigods and everyone are constantly glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's the way that they are connected with the Supreme Personality of God. That is the difference between a demigod and a demon. The difference is that the demigods, sometimes they might have some negative qualities. For example, Indra, when we see Indra has, Indra, sometimes some of his activities are not pious activities. He does, because he is always afraid that he lose his heavenly kingdom. Indra, so this is a challenge with someone possessing a lot of things. So if one is not detached from the possession, one will always be thinking that one will be afraid of losing their possession. So this is the situation of the demigods and all. But the important thing about the demigods is that they recognize that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the actual controller. So they even though sometimes they might lose their actual direction, they might become directionless, but because their fundamental nature is understanding that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the actual controller, they are actually called demigods. That's the reason they are called Devta. And then there is Danav, the demons. The problem with the demons is they never recognize the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are always revolting. So this is the Tamaham Dvishata Kruran Samsarishu Naradhaman Kshipami Ajasram Ashubhan Asurishwa Eva Yonishu. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad-Gita, he says that this kind of demoniac people, they are Dvishata. Dvishata means they are envious. They are envious and they are Kruran. Kruran means they are cruel. Tanaham Dvishata Kruran Samsareshu Naradhaman. Among the whole existence in this material existence, they are unfortunately lowest among the mankind. So Kshipami Ajasram Ashubhan. So unfortunately, because of their nature, they are always in a state of Ashubha, inauspicious kind of existence. Asurishwa eva yonishu. It is mentioned their existence in the demoniac existence is because they are not understanding that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually the controller. They are always revolting against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's the difference between demons and demigods. The demigods, their fundamental existence is based on the understanding that Krishna is a controller. But sometimes they might actually do things which is not right. And that is the nature of this material world. Because in the material world, one is under the influence of the modes of material nature. There is Sattva Guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So generally in the demigods, the Sattva Guna will be prominent because they are in the mode of goodness, and because the mode of goodness is there, they can understand that Krishna is the basis of everything, and they have that natural love for the Lord. But then when one is in the Rajoguna and Tamoguna, the mode of passion and mode of ignorance, that is Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavam, Mahashano, Mahapapma, Vidyena Miha Vairinam. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad-Gita, what is the real enemy of a person? A real enemy is not there outside. A real enemy is within. Depending on what our internal inclinations are. So Krishna says that who are the Vairina, who are the enemy? That is the lust and anger. Kamesha, Krodesha. And these two are coming from Rajoguna. They are from the mode of passion. Rajoguna Samudbhavam. Krishna says Mahashano Mahapapma. Unfortunately, that is what is the cause of all sinful actions that one does. So, Vidyena Miha Vairinam. Krishna says, understand that these are the real enemies. So when we are understanding this universal form of the Lord, we were discussing verse 21, isn't it? 21. Yeah. So here, when the Stuvanti Tvam Stutivip Pushkalabhi, the last word in the last sentence in this verse, very beautiful. So everyone is glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when this glorification happens, Shrinvatam Svakatha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana. So whenever we are hearing about Krishna, that activity by itself is very pious. Punya. Shravana Kirtana. Shravana is hearing, Kirtana is speaking. So, Hridyantastohi Abhadrani Vidunoti. It is mentioned in the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, that whatever impurities are there within the heart, that gets cleansed. When we have this inclination to hear about Krishna, all that impurities are getting cleansed. Vidunoti Suhrat Satam. Suhrat means we become the best friend of everyone. And Satam means we understand the supreme absolute truth, Shri Krishna. So that is what. So this particular Stuvanti is an important word in this verse. Then we go to verse 22. Rudraditya Vaso Yecha Sadhya. Rudraditya Vaso Yecha Sadhya. Vishveshvinau Marutas Choshpama Choshma Pascha. Vishveshvinau Marutas Choshma Pascha. Gandharva Yaksha Surasiddha Sangha.
Gandharva Yaksha Surasiddha Sangha.
Vikshante Tvam Vismitaschaiva Sarve.
Vikshante Tvam Vismitaschaiva Sarve.
So what the word? Rudra. Manifestations of Lord Shiva.
Manifestations of Lord Shiva.
Adityaha. The Adityas. Vasavaha. The Vasus. Ye. All those. Cha. And Sadhyaha. The Sadhyas. Vishwe. The Vishwe Devas. Ashvinau. The Ashwini Kumaras. Marutaha. The Maruts. Cha. And Ushmapaha. The forefathers. Cha. And Gandharva. Of the Gandharvas. Yaksha. The Yakshas. Asura. The demons. Siddha. And the perfected demigods. Sangha. The assemblies. Vikshante. Are beholding. Tvam. You. Vismitaha. In wonder. Cha. Also. Eva. Certainly. Sarve. All. Translation: all the various manifestations
all the various manifestations
of Lord Shiva,
of Lord Shiva,
the Adityas,
the Adityas,
the Vasus,
the Vasus,
the Sadhyas,
the Sadhyas,
the Vishvedevas,
the Vishvedevas,
the two Ashvis,
the two Ashvis,
the Maruts,
the Maruts,
the forefathers,
the forefathers,
the Gandharvas,
the Gandharvas,
the Yakshas,
the Yakshas,
the Asuras,
the Asuras,
and the perfected demigods
and the perfected demigods
are beholding
are beholding
you
you
in wonder.
in wonder.
Okay, so again, very beautiful verse where all the different types of wonderful demigods are described here. Rudraditya Vasavocha Yecha Sadhya Vishveshvinau Marutas Choshpamascha. Choshpama. So Ushmapa. Ushmapa, the forefathers. Cha Ushmapa. So that is called Choshmapa. So generally this is what happens in Sanskrit. So Cha plus Ushma becomes Choshma. So in Sanskrit these sandhis happen. So that's how it is. Choshma Pascha. So it is basically describing this wonderful scene where all these Rudras, Adityas, Maruts, Danavas, Daityas, Devas, everyone, Ashwini Kumar, all those unlimited types of living entities, both in the sphere of demigods, in the sphere of demons. Previously we had actually seen the Nagas and everyone as well. So it is just, that side is just what is called Vismitascha Sarve. Vismita means wonder. So they are totally wonder-struck at this wonderful universal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Then verse 23. Rupam Mahatte Bahuvaktra Netram. Rupam Mahatte Bahuvaktra Netram. Mahabaho Bahurupadam.
Mahabaho Bahurupadam.
Bahudaram Bahudam Shrakkaralam.
Bahudaram Bahudam Shrakkaralam.
Drishva Loka Pravyatitastathaham.
Drishtva loka pravyatitastataham.
So the word by word,
Rupam,
the form,
Mahat,
very great,
Te,
of you, Bahu, many, Vaktra, faces, Netram, and eyes, Mahabaho, O mighty armed one, Bahu, many, Bahu, arms, Uru, thighs, Padam, and legs, Bahu Udaram, many bellies, Bahudam Shra, many teeth, Karalam, horrible, Drishtva, seeing, Lokaha, all the planets, Pravyatitaha, perturbed, Tatha, similarly, Aham, I. So translation: O mighty armed one, all the planets, with their demigods, are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I. Okay, so this is the last verse we are discussing today. And again, so we will see in these verses that there is a lot of repetition. So the Arjuna has mentioned about lots of arms, lots of eyes, and in this case, Damshram is mentioning about a lot of teeth. And so basically, this repetition happens when one is wonder-struck. That is one of the things when repetition happens, and also the nature of this existence is based on repetition. Just like if you look at the material existence, so we have got this morning, we got the night, and then the cycle of morning and night happens continuously every day. And then we have got the seasons, the different seasons happens. So this is basically, this repetition is kind of part of the existence. Now the question is, what kind of repetition do we want to do? So if we get into the repetition of, let's say the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So somehow or other, if we can focus our minds on this repetition, so repetition is always happening. So either we do repetition, punah punash charvita charvananam. Prahlad Maharaj mentions in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says that people are chewing the chewed. And the example sometimes that is given is Ushtra. Ushtra means a camel. One of the examples given in the scriptures is the camel, because it is in the desert, it is getting thorny things like cactus or things like that, and it is eating that, and it's feeling that it is very tasty, but what is actually happening inside? It is actually hurting it, and its own blood is coming, and it's thinking that it is tasty. So unfortunately, this material existence is punah charvita charvananam. So very beautifully, Prahlad Maharaj has said, Matirna Krishne Paratasvatova. Very beautiful verse. Prahlad Maharaj says that Matirna Krishne. Matir means the mind does not go to Krishna. Parata Svatova. Parata means someone else is telling, I don't want to get to know Krishna. So even if someone else tells, I don't want to get to know Krishna. Swato. By my own also, I don't want to know. Matirna Krishne Parata Svatova Mitho Bhipadyeta Graha Vratana. Very beautiful. Prahlad Maharaj says that Graha Vratana, because one has taken the vow to enjoy this material world by hook or crook. Somehow that inclination to understand Krishna never happens. Mitho Bhipadyeta, because I have taken a vow that the only thing that I will do is enjoy my senses. I will not do anything else other than that. Whatever is enjoyable to the senses, I will continuously do it. And punah charvita charvananam, chewing the chewed. Matirna Krishne Paratasvatova Mitho Bhipadyeta Grahapratanam Adanta Gobhi Vishatam Tamishram. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that this constant enjoyment of the senses, one is constantly trying to get enjoyment from the senses, but one is getting defeated. And it is like going into a hell. Even though living in this material world, one is going into the hell. Adanta Gopi Vishatam Punas Charvita Charvanana. What Prahlad Maharaj is saying is that constantly one is chewing the chewed. So this is the unfortunate nature of this material existence. So the question that when we hear these verses is, the question is, what kind of repetition do we want to do? Do we want to go into the repetition of only sense enjoyment? It's not that we don't do sense enjoyment, because we are, this is what is called Yukta Hara Viharasya Yukta Karma Subhoshalam Yukta Swapnava Bodhasya Yogat Bhavati Dukkha. Krishna says that everything should be done in moderation. So the problem with the material existence that we are living in this world is that there is a lot of affection given to the cage, but not to the bird inside the cage. So what is the bird inside the cage? That is we as an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. So that is the spiritual dimension. So the problem with this current existence is that we are always giving unlimited importance to the material dimension of our existence, but we are totally ignoring the spiritual dimension of our existence. So this is like there is a bird in the cage. The cage is given lots and lots of polish and gold plating and everything, but the bird is unfortunately in a state of dying. So what's the use? You can put in lots and lots of things on the cage, make the cage as beautiful as nice as gold or everything. But if the bird inside is dying, what is the use of the cage? So unfortunately, this is the existence in this material world. So somehow or other, due to costless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we have this inclination to get engaged in discussing Bhagavad-Gita, and this is where we are actually feeding the bird, and this is where we are equalizing the dimensions. Whatever dimensions we have a material dimension, we have a spiritual dimension, we have a mental dimension, a physical, mental, and spiritual. So generally, what happens is we always are hovering on the physical and mental platform. We never go into the spiritual platform, unfortunately. But spiritual platform is the basis on which everything else exists. So that is. So with the prayers that we can always somehow or other remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you very much for listening. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So if there's any comments or questions, we can discuss. Okay, so we will sing the Narasimha Pranam Mantra. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlada Daine.
Prahlada Daine.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Yato yato yami tato Narasimho.
Yato yato yami tato Narasimho.
Bahe Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Bahe Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade.
Tavakaratamarvare Nakham Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Vrinda Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare
Tavakaratamarvare Nakham Adbhuta Shringa
Dalita Hiranyakashipu
Tanu Vringa
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa
Jaya Jagadish Hare
Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev
Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev
Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari
Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Prahlad
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Prahlad
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Yasmade Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishna Gopale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namne. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschat Deshakarane. Sarvam Shri Krishna Pranamastu Krishna Matirastu Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.